third-year quarterback Craig Morton, who performed brilliantly. Big, strong, and durable, Morton displayed that certain winning quality that portended future greatness. No receiver was ever out of range of Morton's powerful arm. An even more important asset was a quick, alert mind, as both he and Meredith directed the most complex offense in pro football.
Now Craig Morton, a rookie from California, is in the ball game. He's 6'6" tall. Here's the fake. He's going to throw. He's going for Bob Hayes. Hayes on the post pattern, juggles the ball and still has it. Hayes will score easy and jog in. A 49-yard touchdown play. Craig Morton to Bob Hayes.
Again, Morton. This time to Clark. A touchdown for the Cowboys. Danny Villanueva converts, and it's the Cowboys 47, the Falcons 14. Now on first down, Morton to Hayes. And Bobby Hayes gets a good block and turns in a fine run. He's in there for a touchdown. As we repeat that from the end zone camera, watch number 73, Ralph Neely, throw a key block right here, taking play out of the play. And the Cowboys have the lead, 17-10.
7-7 game. Morton. And Bob Hayes is there for a beautiful catch and a Dallas touchdown.
As the half ended, Morton found his favorite receiver, Lance Renzel, cutting into the end zone.
Morton culminates the drive with another strike to Renzel. The Cowboys cut the Eagle lead to 14 points. The combination of Morton to Bob Hayes covered 64 yards, but it wasn't enough. By the end of the afternoon, the Eagles had offered their doubting fans some very concrete answers. On a 4th and goal situation on the Washington 16, Morton hit Frank Clark for a touchdown to cut the Redskin lead to 14 points. "60 seconds later, on a rollout, Morton passed to Pettis Norman for a touchdown. But the Cowboys' gallant comeback fell short as time ran out and the Redskins held on to win 27-20.
Number 14, Craig Morton, entered for the injured Don Meredith. The results were the same as Morton found Dan Reeves for the Cowboys' 17th point and a comfortable halftime lead. Renzel has taken a lot of pressure off Bob Hayes and has become the key to the Dallas passing attack. On this touchdown, Renzel demonstrated his ability to catch the ball without going out of the end zone, the mark of an excellent receiver. Renzel's grab made it 24-16, with still time to get more.
Next week against the Chicago Bears. Craig Morton directed them to an equally impressive 34-3 triumph.
Quarterback as capable as number 14, Craig Morton, a former All-American from California who would be a starting quarterback for many other teams. Each time Morton has taken over for the oft-injured Meredith, he has come through, and today would be no exception. On this play, Morton wasted no time in proving there would be no let-up. Rensel's touchdown made it 30-17 as the quarter ended.
Coach Tom Landry replaced Meredith with Craig Morton, and the fine number 2 man went right to work and right to Bob Hayes. Hayes played in the snow a little before getting back to business. Craig Morton learned to pass away from Willie Williams and worked his way up to where he could run for some points. Morton played a little more than half the game and completed 14 of 20 passes.
The new general of the Cowboys was Craig Morton. Morton had patiently waited 4 years for his turn to come, and now it had arrived. The apprentice became the master craftsman. For the first time, Dallas displayed its passing might as a healthy Craig Morton bombed the Philadelphia Eagles with 3 touchdown passes, and the Cowboys won 38-7. The Dallas line helped Craig Morton launch pro football's most devastating offense. In his first year as a starting quarterback, Morton generated a reconstructed attack that gained more yards than any team in pro football. Courage is as much a part of the game as throwing touchdown passes. Withstood the punishment and came back throwing.
Bedazzled by Hill, the Eagles then fell prey to Morton's bomb to Rensel, and the Cowboys possessed a comfortable 21-7 advantage. Craig Morton scrambled free of the rush and found Dan Reeves, number 30, unmolested at the Eagle 10 for a touchdown. A replay shows that Morton wanted to exploit the Eagles' vulnerable middle, but when no outlet appeared, he alertly unloaded to Reeves, his second or possibly his third choice of receivers on the play. Morton's rollout touchdown to Mike Ditka, number 89, coupled with a later field goal, gave Dallas 38 points and over 500 yards in total offense. This touchdown pass to flashy Lance Rensel, number 19, gave Morton and the Cowboys a sizable 24-3 lead in the third quarter. Lance Rensel on identical slant-in patterns. Bob Hayes, number 22, returned to the starting lineup for the first time and quickly showed that a 4-week absence has not eroded game-breaking speed as Morton and his receivers continued to run relays up and down the field. Came on the same pattern as the first two, a quick slant in to the post. His fifth touchdown of the half came on a rollout throw to tight end Pettis Norman, who was all alone at the flag. At halftime, Dallas led 42-7. In the second, the Dallas offense acted as if it had never been away. Craig Morton directed an attack which accounted for over 400 yards in total offense, and he threw for 2 scores, including this one to number 22, Bob Hayes. Mike Ditka, number 89, started in place of the injured Pettis Norman, and his touchdown reception capped an impressive 33-17 rebound victory. Dallas fans hope that these are the real Cowboys. Dallas retaliated swiftly when Craig Morton scrambled free of the rush and connected with Lance Rensel for a 65-yard score. Craig Morton brought the Cowboys back with a rollout touchdown pass to tight end Mike Ditka, number 89, and at the half, the score was tied. Although the Rams held on to their one-point victory, these two star-studded teams...
But the division title-bound Cowboys were just not that easy. They quickly regained a lead and made life miserable for Johns shortly thereafter.
Dallas squeezed a little offense from their drenched attack. Mike Clark booted a field goal, and Craig Morton skirted right in for a touchdown as the lackluster Cowboys held off the determined Steelers to clinch their 4th straight title, 10-7. Morton produced a score when he rolled left and lofted a perfect strike to Lance Rensel, who was beyond the flailing arms of safety Tom Maxwell, number 42. With the flow going in one direction and Morton in the other, he baffled Washington with a strike to Pettis Norman for an easy score.
Quarterback Craig Morton and Bob Hayes, who returned to action, burned the blitz as Dallas streamed away with a 27-16 victory. A rematch with the Eagles saw Lance Rensel dust off Philadelphia's defense. Twice, Rensel ran free and easy through the Eagles' leaky zone for scores, but Dallas was an undistinguished victor, 21-17. The Cowboys were 5-2 and apparently sleepwalking to a division. First downs were disdained for touchdowns, and for years the Cowboys were the highest scoring team in the pros. From anywhere on the field, the offense cranked up rainbows that exploded into touchdowns. It was a day for the offense, which scored 52 points. But most of all, it was a title for a team that was pronounced dead in November. It was a day that ended the most rewarding regular season in the Cowboys' 11-year history. A first down pass from Craig Morton to Walt Garrison bent the will of San Francisco.
Up with its defense as Lance Rensel wisely used his chest, not his hands, and slid through the surf for a touchdown. Final score, Wales 13, Porpoises nothing. Craig Morton caught the Chiefs in a multiple blitz and lobbed a pass to Bob Hayes. It was an 89-yard foot race between Hayes and the Chiefs' fastest man, Emmett Thomas. It was a mismatch.
It's 38. Having set up the defense, Morton now went for it all and got it. Bob Hayes had Parker beat, and the Cowboys were back in front. On a repeat of the score, Morton sent both backs out, and his protection was the key. It held up well, and he easily found Hayes, who made a nice knee-high grab. The Cowboys had restored their big play offense to regain the lead 10-3 as the first quarter ended. We'll be right back with more exciting action on the NFL Game of the Week. Momentum of the game then took a sudden turn, and it was another big play from the Cowboys that did it. Morton again went for Hayes deep. Defender Willie Williams just nicked it. Hayes made the bobbling catch, and the world's second fastest human had given the Cowboys a 17-6 lead.
The Cowboys scored with seeming ease. Quarterback Craig Morton found a completely uncovered Walt Garrison for one touchdown.
Was produced by seldom-used receiver Reggie Rucker, who took a simple slant in from Craig Morton and converted it into a 52-yard explosion. Another view shows that Rucker, number 88, operated from the center of the Cowboys' wishbone tee. Even with the defensive flow moving to the left with Rucker, Morton speared him cutting against the grain, and the willowy receiver glided expertly through the middle of the Oiler defense. For the long and limber Rucker, it was the first touchdown in his short career and gave Dallas fans an omen of things to come. For today, Dallas would dredge up the one-shot rainbow strike that has been missing for most of 1970 and bury Houston through the air. With Dallas fans demanding blood, quarterback Craig Morton, their sometimes hero, sometimes villain, laid open a gaping wound in the Oiler defense with a 38-yard scoring strike to Bob Hayes. Another angle illustrates the reason for the play's success. Operating behind flawless protection, Morton combined with Hayes on a deep crossing pattern that beat both Hayes' primary defender, Leroy Mitchell, number 41, and his deep help, safety Ken Houston, number 29. For Bob Hayes, his touchdown signature would be repeated 3 more times today. Disdaining the run, Dallas jet streamed past Houston over ground. While Bob Hayes sifted through even double coverage, Walt Garrison slid into the unprotected area. Boys gained a 4-touchdown advantage when Morton connected with Hayes for a third time. Once again, Morton's protection was perfect. Once again, Hayes left Oiler defenders clutching only air as he evaporated into the end zone. Within a minute and a half of their last connection, Morton and Hayes did it again for the 4th time. This time, Hayes was alone at the sideline as he revved up and motored for a 59-yard touchdown run. The play is worth repeating because Morton's beautiful fake to number 35, Calvin Hill, occupied 2 Houston linebackers and allowed Hayes to finish his best day ever with 4 touchdowns and 179 yards on 6 receptions. Dallas 38, Houston 3.
Then it was Garrison again, this time swinging out of the backfield uncovered as one of Morton's infrequent passes hit Garrison for the score. On a repeat, watch Morton's fake to Thomas completely fool the 49er defense who were so anxious to stop Thomas they over-pursued the play, leaving Garrison wide open. Coach Landry was calling the best game of the 7 he had called this year, and the Cowboys were executing his plays like a machine. Cowboys 17, 49ers 3.
Quarterback Craig Morton of the Cowboys, number 14, threw 15 touchdown passes during the regular season. But his scattered arm statistics in the playoffs were dismal.
Then on a textbook play-action fake, Morton caught every one on the Colts, and Dwayne Thomas took his pass and scrambled into the end zone as Billy Ray Smith's tackle came too late. Finally able to capitalize fully on a turnover, the Cowboys took the momentum back and took a 13-6 lead with 7 minutes left in the half.
At the end of the half, Cowboys 13, Colts 6.
When quarterback Craig Morton's deft play-action fake froze the Bills' secondary, and Bob Hayes galloped unmolested to a 76-yard score. Quarterback Craig Morton threw only 14 passes, but completed 10 of them for 2 touchdowns as Dallas escaped with a 49-37 victory on a day both defenses took a long rest. At times, the Cowboys scored so easily it looked like a dummy drill on the practice field. Quarterback Craig Morton's command of Dallas' multiple offense gave setbacks like Walt Garrison, number 32, clear avenues to the end zone.
Cowboys now inside Giant territory at the Giants' 49-yard line. Lance Alworth, motion left. Martin looking deep for Bob Hayes. And that's why they pass.
That's one reason why you want to put them in the air every now and then.
That's right, but only after you've laid the foundation.
Absolutely right, Howard. That was a great throw.
Between Athos and Joe Green, the completion. Right on target. Bob Hayes. He is really something special.
It really is good to have somebody like that on your side, man, because he can really get open. Here it is again. Craig sets back, throws. And Bobby, I mean, it's just, there's not anybody really can keep up with him. It's not a discredit to anybody here on defense. You get him man-to-man. He's caught 4 passes tonight for an even 100 yards.
The offense was superbly generaled by Craig Morton, who threw 2 touchdown passes, one to new Cowboy Ron Sellers, and another to Lance Alworth, as Dallas won handily, 28-6. After weeks of idleness, Roger Staubach warmed up his sore shoulder and watched Craig Morton demolish the famed Baltimore zone. Victory number 4 was a 40-man win as Dallas shut out the Colts, 21-0. Twice the Cowboys attained 13-point leads. Then he found old pro Walt Garrison as the Cowboys' offense rang up 28 points. Dallas' last touchdown was scored by Craig Morton, who wanted 6 points so badly he ignored wide-open receivers.
On Monday night, Dallas buried New Orleans under a barrage of touchdowns.
The 49ers built up an early 15-point lead until Craig Morton's touchdown pass to Lance Alworth cut the margin to 21-13 at the half. But in the dying moments of the third quarter, San Francisco built back those 15 points and led 28-13. Then Tom Landry made an agonizing decision. He replaced the luckless Morton with willing but rusty Roger Staubach. Since returning from his shoulder separation in the 5th week, Roger had done little but watch Morton guide Dallas into the playoffs. Staubach wanted to play badly, but he realized the masterful feats Morton had achieved in his absence.